Dave Bradbury, Planet Wash.
How are you, Dave? Marco Mendoza. Nice to meet you.
Black
Star Riders. Yeah.
Excellent. Right. First thing we need to ask you. Last couple of tours with the Thin Lizzy supporting Kiss in the Motley Crue in Australia.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, how was all that?
That was awesome.
Yeah.
You know, I have a history with those guys with Kiss actually. I know some of the cats in Motley Crue, but we got to hang, and I got really close with Nicky, which is really cool. I found him to be a very cool person, very deep, and like I knew he would be. But we had met before, but we never get any time to hang. And when you're doing that kind of tour, there's a lot of downtime. So bass player to bass player, human being, father to father, husband to husband, and ex alcohol addict and drug addict. It was great. I learned a lot about the cat. If it's possible to respect somebody more, I did, because he was very cool. So that was great. On the personal level, on the show level, the shows just went off great, you know. And Gene and Paul and the boys were really cool with us, and we got to hang. You end up getting really close on the road, you know. You end up being somewhat of a family, even though there's a hierarchy going on in the pecking order, but because we've all been there, there's mutual respect that goes on, and it was fun. It was a blast. And Australia is a great place to tour.
Yeah, I got quite a few relatives down there.
Yeah. And actually, that was the last day at Thin Lizzy with Brian and Darren Wharton. So, you know, there was some landmarks there. It was cool. Good memories.
Brilliant. Transition from Thin Lizzy to BSR.
Well, you know, it was something. Looking back now, it's something that needed to happen.
Yeah.
I think, for the most part, fans including, and the diehards, you know, Thin Lizzy diehards, and no Phil, no Lizzy kind of thing. Even though we were out there carrying the flag, and I'd been there through a few reincarnations of it, and in my opinion, this was the best one. You know, it was just time when you're creative and when you're a real musician, and you want to, you know, come up with some new stuff, you have to fly your own flag. And even though it was considered to do the Thin Lizzy thing under the Thin Lizzy umbrella, it didn't feel right, you know, for a little bit, until it just, you know, Scott and Brian really were looking at it, and then, you know, Ricky and David, it was just like, let's just go for it. But I think what happened is that we got the support from the label, and that was a big one. Because if the label says, well, we dig the music, let's get behind it, then it's a winning combination. I mean, not winning, not guaranteed, but you have a little bit of support, and every artist needs that. So I think that was the factor, the defining factor in the whole mix. Transition, you know, we knew it was going to be a little bit of work, but we're doing it. When you love what you do, you just do it, you know. So.
And how's this tour been?
It's been great.
Yeah.
It's been great. Well, this is our first tour as Black Star Riders.
Yeah, exactly.
And we hit Europe, and we're here in the UK. We're winding down. We do Manchester tomorrow, and then we do Dublin and Belfast, and that'll be it.
I think we're going to be bumping into a few of our friends actually in Belfast.
Yes. Yeah, I think we're lining some things up. So it's good, man. Nothing but highlights. Hanging out with, you know, with the other bands have been great. I'm friends with the Daisies as well. I've gotten to work with them, and it's a great team. Great night of rock and roll. Great night of music.
You do quite a lot of varied stuff, don't you?
I do.
You don't just stick with the one band. You do little bits.
Yeah, it's hard to explain. It's hard to explain. When I first got to LA, when I got sober years ago, and I wanted to get serious about my career, I came to LA, and if there was any hat that I was wearing the longest, was the session guy, because I just did a wide spectrum of genres. You know, I would get some calls to do this and do that, and a lot of fretless. And so that's what it was. So I learned to kind of be a bit of a chameleon guy. And at the bottom line, it's all music, and it's challenging, and it's rewarding, and I got to meet and work with some of the best cats out there. So, yeah, I think that's in my blood. I've got that gypsy thing, you know. And again, when you love what you do, and there's some downtime, and there's an opportunity that presents itself, of course you're going to do it. If you're a painter, you know,
Yeah.
you paint. If you're a musician, you do music. In the days of having one project to carry you throughout the year, those days are uh, very, they're almost non-existent, to be honest, you know. So, yeah, I think I'm addicted to doing music and experiencing the whole thing, writing and playing it, performing it in front of an audience, and traveling and preparing shows and doing interviews. It's just part of what we do, you know. So I dig it. I dig the whole thing, the whole package. So it's not something that I kind of planned to do. It's just something that's happened in my career, in my life, you know. Yeah, quite a few things I'm involved with. There's an album coming out with Neil Sean, Dean Casanova from Journey for next year. That's in the can. It's been done for a year. Been finished. They were just mastering and mixing this summer, and I heard it's pretty cool. Started working with Dolores O'Riordan from Cabaret's on her third album, and I'm going to see her in Dublin. I got asked by a label. I won't. There's a few labels that want me to do another solo album. So, you know, yeah, it's all in front of me. It's just calendar scheduling and the whole thing. And of course, Black Star is going to be our main campaign for next year. See how far we can take it. Spread the word, you know, plant the seeds and earn the fans, because that's what you got to do. You got to earn them. Bottom line, it's about the shows, performing. Yeah. If you ask me, are you asking me? But it is, you know.
I've read something somewhere that going away from all that, you were flying a jet fighter.
Yes, I got to. This past year, it's been, you know, my experience with the Dead Daisies has been quite illuminating in a lot of ways. A lot of bucket list stuff went out, and David Lowery, who is one of the founding members, together with John Stevens, he flies. He's got a collection of fighters and all kinds of planes from different periods, and he invited me and Richard to come out. And I had no idea we were going to have to suit up and get on the plane, but we did, long story short. And pretty amazing. I have film of that. You know, I'm going to post it when we get good internet, because it's big files. Yeah. We've been having a hard time with the internet. But yeah, it's one of those things that, you know, I'm going to, for the rest of my life, it's quite an experience. It's like a roller coaster times 50. If you can imagine that.
Yeah. Well, I haven't been in a fighter, but I've been in the Cessna. Yeah.
Cessna, which one?
Oh, I wouldn't tell you. Because we're brothers, the pilot.
Ah, I
so
see. A propeller, prop. Yeah, this is a jet fighter. It was a Cessna, actually. And close to 500 miles an hour. And I did 2 Gs. Richard did 4, I think. 4. Insane. I could have pushed it, and David's going, you know, you want me to push it? I said, well, I don't want to embarrass myself and kind of ruin the cockpit if I was to get sick, because those are the tendencies. So I passed on it. I want it to be a good experience. And he's got it hooked up where he's got 2 cameras in the cockpit, 1 in the tail, 2 in the wing, 1 in the front. So there's video from every angle, and you could see my face getting blue, if you could, but I had the mask and helmet.
Will we get to see this on YouTube?
I'm gonna, you know, I have it at home, and he sent it to me, and it's been extremely busy the past 3 years. It's almost like, I want to share, I think I shared some pictures, some shots. But I think, yeah, you definitely want to experience that through the cockpit. It's amazing, man. But nothing compares to actually doing it. So yeah, I got to get on it, and it was insane, man. Insane. Beautiful. If you ever get a chance to do it, do it.
Right, recent gig, Hard Rock Hell.
Yes.
How did that go?
That was awesome.
Yeah.
That was my first time doing it. Yeah. I was thinking we had done it before with Thin Lizzy, but I don't think I was there. So, and Scott Gorham, he reminded me that I wasn't there. That was 3 or 4 years ago. But really well put festival, indoors, smack in the middle of winter, you know, in Wales. It was just perfect. A lot of fans. I saw a lot of friends. And there was quite of anticipation in the fans and the audience from the night before. We got on the night before, and everybody was just waiting to see the show and see what we brought, you know. And it went off really, really, really well. and surprised to us and to the fans, Phil Campbell got up and played with us, and Rosalie, and it was a blast. It was a good night. It came and went, and all of a sudden we're on the bus to the next gig. It was like, wow. Sometimes you don't have a minute to taste it. Just things happen so quick. So it takes a little interview like this to refresh. It was great. It was really awesome. The location was gorgeous.
Did any particular bands stand out to you, other than...
I got to hear some. Some of them, to be honest, I didn't know. There's a lot of new bands, which is great about those festivals, that they give the up-and-coming bands the opportunity to play, because otherwise they just do the headliners, So I got to hear some great stuff. Yeah, it's, rock and roll is in good hands. It's the new generation is kicking. They just need to keep going. There's no industry to support it, but it's all about, again, performing live and earning your fans like that, and getting the word out. So.
And when you're not actually touring in England or anywhere, just at home, what do you get up to?
Well, I have 2 little ones at home. If anybody's a parent out there, that you realize that they keep you busy. My wife's really, really cool, amazing. She takes care of the home front. But she works, so when I come home, I'm with my kids 24/7. So I try to kick in and take over a little bit. Mainly, it's about being a dad and a husband and taking care of the home, taking care of all the things that need to be taken care of while I was gone. And then we stay busy. My daughter's she started surfing this summer. We did a little bit of that, surfing, because we live at the beach, and then my son started skateboarding, so we did a little bit of that. He's into archery, and my daughter's doing all kinds of sports. She wants to sing and dance, and so pretty much I would say they keep me busy.
Pretty active, aren't they?
Yeah, and then occasionally I go up and do my local gigs with my own project in some of the local jazz clubs there. So just to keep the knife a little sharp,
I didn't know the name of that club, I can't find it now.
We do that, yeah. And then I get a lot of sessions. Past 3 or 4 years have been about recording, so I'll go up to the valley. I'm a few hours away from the valley, which is where all the studios are in Hollywood. And so, again, I get home and getting up early, taking the kids to school, coming home, dinner, taking care of being a dad, husband, taking care of the home. Boom, the time goes by. Before you know it, I'm on the plane again to the next run. So,
Kids are growing up so fast as well.
They are,
Yeah.
but we Skype once, twice a day. Sometimes we talk, then we hang out and we visit. So, the other difference is that that's all my kids know, and that's all my wife knows. That's our lifestyle. I will say this, in my defense, my lifestyle is not conducive for me to be there all the time. But when I'm there 100%, 24/7. So it works with us. It's a rhythm thing. I think it's not bad that I kind of get away for a minute and they miss me and I miss them, and then we come home and we have a blast. I think so. For us it works. So
I find because I work obviously.
You travel a lot.
I work away from home quite a bit.
So you understand the dynamics involved. It's good,
Yeah.
And then my wife's a career woman too, so and a mom. Unbelievable, great, the best mom around, and wife, and then she's got her own career. So we have our plate is pretty full, and we stay busy, So yeah, I try to ski. We're going to try and ski. I have a hurt knee. I'm trying to see if I can get up there this winter, and we'll do some of the water sports. We hit the beach a lot. It's all about. I think in the bigger picture, that's what keeps me grounded. Being a dad, taking the trash out, fixing a couple of things around the house, and fixing breakfast. And then we come out here to fantasy world.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a fantasy world thing. We get to do what we love doing, so it's good. No complaints from me.
Ted Nugent.
Yes.
What if I ask about Ted Nugent?
What can I say about Ted? Ted, my experience with Ted Nugent, I used to see him from far away, and I grew up listening to his music, a big fan of his music. He's just the bottom line. Ted's been around. He's probably done it all 10 times without getting into all the details. He's lived life to the fullest. He's the most productive, most bombastic personality that you will ever meet in your lifetime. And as a musician, as a father, as a husband, as a person that wants to make a difference, he's, I got him on a pedestal. He just represents everything I want to be when I grow up. But he just is. And I know a lot of people misconstrue what he says and what he represents. But I ask everybody to just take a few moments, man, and understand where he's coming from. He's using his, his celebrity to make a difference. And we all try in our own little way, but he's got, he's got that energy, man. He's very focused. He doesn't believe in wasting a lot of time. He's writing a book. He's writing a new album. He's mixing a DVD. He's running for office. He's a marshal. He's a sheriff. He's out there hunting and promoting good living. So he is definitely. Every time I got to hang out, and I got to hang out with him quite a bit, he inspires me to become a better person. That's all. If I have to encapsulate into one phrase, he inspires me to become a better person. And on stage, just go check it out. He's unbelievable, 150% all the time. So, great time. And we got to do some studio work. We got to do some live work, and we got to do some hunting. So he's a great guy, all around. Pretty impressive human being. Yes, 10 midget. Yes.
Now then, I've been asked to ask you, what is the one question you have never been asked by a journalist? And what would your answer be?
Oh, wow. Wow, you caught me by surprise.
Yeah.
Never been asked. My walk's been about, most recently about, sobriety. I've been sober for a long time. And I've never been asked what happened exactly that turned me around, and pretty gory details that I won't get into now. But just imagine the lowest of the bottoms, when you're in there's a sewage, and that's pretty low. Think 10 degrees below that. That's where my life was. That's where I was spiritually, emotionally, psychologically. I was gone. I was just waiting for something to happen to check out. And what happened is I came to a realization that I needed help, and I surrendered completely. And I was in this little cell at county jail on my way to do a long time, 10 to 15 years, and just for a split second I got on my knees and I asked for help, and I asked God for help. From that second on, my life changed to the positive, for the best. And so what happened? I lost my way. I surrendered. Self-discovery. You kind of discover, uncover, and then discard what you don't need in your life, and then you move on. And I like to think that along the way, in that path of sobriety, that I picked up some good tools along the way. And for me, it's a 12-step program, So it's allowed me to deal with life and in many different levels, and the career that I do, the music business, which can be quite a journey, quite a ride, man. Talk about roller coasters. I seldom talk about that, and it's good for me to do that from time to time. There's a lot of kids, a lot of kids out there in a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
And a lot of colleagues of mine in my business in a lot of trouble. We just heard about another friend of a colleague of mine passing away in his late 40s, because of it, the disease of alcoholism and drug addiction.
I've got a few friends who've been there. They've come through it like yourself.
Yeah.
It is a bit of a long journey.
Yeah, and my answer to that would be, pick yourself up, take inventory, realize that maybe you don't want to be there anymore, that you're ready for change, and realize that there's help out there. You just need to reach out and surrender to the fact that you have a problem. And there's a lot of help out there. And for me, it was the 12-step program has saved my life, and along the way, it's given me tools to have a better life, to be more productive. I'm a work in progress. I have a lot of issues to work out still, but the difference now is that I'm sober. My eyes are wide open. I have to live in my own skin, and yeah, it's constantly searching to become a better person. So that would be my answer, my question answered, and then the rest is rock and roll.
I think we'll call it today.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Thank you so much, Dave.
Mendoza, thank you very much.
Pleasure, man. Send it to me so I can post it somewhere. Yeah.
No problem.
Yeah.
Okay.
No problem.
Have a good one. MarcoMendoza.com. Are we still running?
Yeah.
Check it out. Black Star Riders. All Hell Breaks Loose. New album. And MarcoMendoza.com. There's a lot of stuff that I'm involved with. Appreciate your support, and we'll see you out there somewhere. And if you see me, always say hello. I don't bite. I'm pretty friendly. Take care.